This Bristol Trucks-Xfinity Betting Picks 2025 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACESGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome in to another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. Today, we tackle both the Xfinity and the Truck Series, as both of them are in the same place this week. So that makes it easier, and they're both at Bristol. And it's all pretty much playoffs now. We got one more race, right, of the no, that's it, right? We did it. We're with the playoffs.
It's playoffs, Rod.
I just
everything, all playoffs all the time in NASCAR now.
Sometimes you just lose track of what actual week it is. Is it actual September?
It's difficult to keep track, especially because none of them line up. Like Cup and Trucks actually start the same week, but they don't line up. There's different rounds, essentially, less races. And so, yeah, well, I guess it's the same amount of races, but different cuts. It's all sorts of different stuff. So does make it very difficult, unfortunately. But we are in the playoffs for all three. Of course, this will be the first Xfinity Series playoff race, and as we talked about yesterday, it's the cutoff race for the Cup Series. I believe, did we cut? Boy, trucks are just so they don't race so infrequently. I don't even remember. Did we cut people last one? Didn't we?
I don't think we cut anybody yet.
This is the cut race for the trucks. We are going to lose 2 drivers after this week.
Yeah. So again, this is a lot of drivers now driving for their playoff lives in both the trucks and the.
No, we're cutting them next week. Sorry.
Is it next? Oh my God.
I'll catch up eventually. They're racing in New Hampshire again next week, so we'll make the cut then. So no cuts this week for trucks.
You know what? Fine. NASCAR won't make cuts.
All over the place.
NASCAR won't make cuts. I'll make cuts then. If this is how it's got to be, Cody, I will make the cuts after this week. Fine.
Yeah. Might not get cut this week, but you can lock yourself into the next round. As one, Corey Heim, of course, is already done by picking up that win. It was Darlington, right? A couple of weeks ago.
Like 6 years ago.
So, yeah, again, the infrequency of the trucks as we get farther in the season sucks, but they are back, all 3 series, and Thursday Night Thunder. Let's go. That might be trademarked. I don't know if they can use that, but we're going to call it Thursday Night Thunder anyways. Craftsman Truck Series on Thursday night, so gotta love it.
I actually do love it. Now, the only problem is this, okay? When you start competing with Thursday Night Football, it's tough because that's when the 2 screen things have to come out.
That's the smart thing about the Saturday Cup race this week. You're not going up against the NFL. Some college football, but who cares? Well, I mean, not really. I mean, I care, but not as much, right, as the NFL. But yeah, the Thursday night thing then puts you against the NFL on Thursday night. Again, a lot of us can dual screen it these days, but the inconvenience is still there.
Yeah, it most certainly is. Well, it's the reason why Canadian football switches over to Friday Night Football after the NFL season starts, because they know they can't compete directly with the NFL. So, but that's all right. We'll take a few of those. Dual screens, fine. TK checking in saying, hi, guys, and then correcting us because guess what? We need correction. Not really correcting us, but at least shepherding us in the right direction. Yeah. So thank you, TK, for being our producer on the sidelines. All right, listen, I want to tell you real quickly, though, before we get going with anything Bristol related, that we've got 25% off of everything in the merch store. Go pick yourself up some SGPN merch. I guarantee you are not going to regret it. It's all good stuff. We got the DGens only line. We've got the refs are terrorists. We've got the race officials are terrorists shirts out there. And because football season has begun in full force, make sure you go use the promo code football to get 25% off of everything in that store. Well, Cody, like we said, it is Bristol, baby. Short track of all short tracks. It's the last great Coliseum. Yeah, Bristol is that. And I'm telling you right now, it's Bristol under the lights for folks, the night race, the truck race. It's just an exciting weekend all around, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the marquee stops on the schedule, right? Everybody loves Bristol. The racing's been great sometimes, and other times not as great. I think in these two lower series, though, we're hopeful for the Cup Series this week after kind of a snoozer in the spring. But these other two series generally produce pretty good racing, and I think we're in for another good couple of races this weekend.
I concur. So does Ross Sieg, probably saying hello to us. What do we say? That cousin?
Oh, Ross is, yeah, your cousin Ryan. I was looking at his stats for Bristol. He's pretty damn good there, like he is most places. I was sort of hoping for some Xfinity Series top 10s or odds. So stay tuned. Sometimes ESPN's a little slow getting those out. Shout out to them for even having them the last couple of weeks when other books have given up on it. But yeah, I think that Ryan potentially could be one to keep an eye on, depending on what his number's at.
Indeed. Ross also thinks that Bell is going to win in the Cup. I share your enthusiasm.
He is next week, Rod, at New Hampshire. I've been telling people this for weeks.
I know you have, but I think he's going to win this one too, and maybe he'll win the next one, and we'll all be happy. I know Marcus will definitely
wouldn't
be happy.
His first time going back-to-back this year, so maybe he gets it done.
Most certainly will not. All right. Is there anything that broke between yesterday and today? I don't think there was any real news.
I don't think so. We got a lot to talk about. I think we need to get a move on it, Rod. I think we don't waste any more time getting into the picks. There's not really slow news day.
So the after hours episode, we were all fun and games, and now we're down to business. Cody, now that it's 5:30.
Today's the day to be serious. Too much fucking around last night, Rod. No more of this. We got to get our shit together. We got to get this show on the road, man.
No more sexy.
We got 2 episodes to cram into one, basically.
No more sexy pictures of Noah Gragson. That's all there is to it.
Well, there's always time for sexy pictures of Noah Gragson. Right? So I'll just throw that up there right now. We'll take a nice good look. Just what? Beautiful, beautiful, man. Make sure you bet on Noah Gragson this week in the Cup Series. Go back and listen to the SGP or the NGP After Dark episode last night if you want more sexy Noah Gragson talk.
Took us 673 episodes to let our hair down, and boy, did we ever. All right, fine then. Let's start. We'll start with the Truck Series, who are racing, by the way, the UNOH 250. Don't let everything else out there fool you. This is 250, which means that we are set for 250 laps around this 0.533 mile paved track for whatever 200 laps times 0.533. It tells me 106, but that's the 200 mile total. But everybody out there is labeling this as the 200 because they forget that there's an extra 50 laps around this track, and that may make the difference, my friends. Probably not.
50 laps in the Truck Series is a lot. That's a lot extra. We've seen what the end of these truck races can look like at times, so definitely could be a crazy one. There's 37 drivers entered for 36 spots, so first time in quite some time this season where we're actually going to have to send a truck home, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's how it goes. So 37 entries, 36 spots. Brent Cruz is going to be back in the number 1 truck. This is a name that I don't think we've seen. I believe this will be his first start. Trayton Lapsevich is going to be in the 02 truck for Young's Motorsports. He's a big Cars Tour guy, late model up-and-comer. Definitely a name to keep an eye on. With only top 5s being available for the Truck Series this week, probably going to be tough, although he probably has a pretty long number. But I don't know that we're going to get that out of him in a young truck. But this is a name to keep in mind and to remember. That is Trayton. Trayton, there we go. Trayton Lapsevich is of course his name. So
sure, you get the Lapsevich right or wrong, right? But you get the Trayton wrong. Good job, Code.
Well, I've heard the Lapsevich a lot. I like in Cars Tour news stuff or whatever, like things I listen to. I've heard the Lapsevich a lot, but the Trayton that got me. That got me tripped up, Rod. It's Trippin' Trayton Lapsevich. Okay, we found the truck that's going to go home. That's Norm Benning in the number 6 car. Corey Day, he's going to return in the number 7 for Spire Motorsports. Stephen Parsons is going to be back in the number 20 for Young's Motorsports. Mason Maggio, Greg Van Alst. Chandler Jones is making another start. We've seen him previously in the 66, or Connor Jones, rather, not Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones plays for, Arizona Cardinals for a long time?
Sure.
Okay, there's that. Connor Jones, rather. He's going to be in the 41 truck for Nice. We've previously seen him in that 66 quite a few times, but moving over to the Nice stuff, which I believe he's made a start or two with them earlier this season. The 62 truck is back for Friesen Halmar. Of course, Caden Honeycutt's driving the 52, filling in for Stewart. But Cole Butcher is going to be making a start in the 62 truck this week. Our guy, Rod Parker Kligerman, depending on who you ask. Some of the books will tell you he won at Daytona a couple of weeks ago. No official statistics will tell you that, but whatever. He's going to be back in the 75 truck once again, which we love that truck when it comes out. And then Chad Greenfield is going to be back in the 99. I want to make sure you get Corey LaJoie in there. He'll be in there for the rest of the season, but he is back in the 77 truck once more.
Indeed. Actually, so the 95 for Clay. He's not taking over Ben Rhodes' truck, by the way.
Oh, what did I say?
You said the 99, but I think Ben Rhodes probably wouldn't mind. Just a week off.
Yeah, I mean, he might need it at this point. He's not in the playoffs, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to kick his feet up and start fishing.
Greenfield is in the 95. Ben Rhodes still in the 99. Not breaking any news there.
No, indeed.
And Frankie, we hadn't talked about this, but real quick, Ross bringing up Frankie. Frankie Muniz, if you didn't see, he broke his arm at home. I didn't see what the incident was, but had an incident at the house, broke his arm or his wrist, something. But he's not racing, and I've seen conflicting reports. I don't know that I saw anything. What number was Frankie driving? I was trying to find who's in
33.
33, yes. So that's Mason Maggio is the one filling in that one. So I mentioned him quickly. But, I've not seen any news on if he'll be back. It's kind of spread out. We'll see him again. But, no Frankie Muniz at this point in time, which not in the playoffs, so not big deal as far as that goes. But, it's been good to see Malcolm in the middle out there, and sad that he'll be missing a week or two here.
One of those guys that just races hard because he knows that he doesn't have the setup that everybody else has out there, and he's got to earn everything he makes. So, definitely, hopefully to see him back next season or sooner. Who knows? He could Connor Zilisch that thing. Although, tell you what, man, once you get to a certain age, those broken bones don't bounce back the way they used to.
Yeah, boy, I don't know that much bounces back as fast as Connor Zilisch did, Rod.
That dude, he freaking bounced back. But, all right, well then, that is the setup for this UNOH 250. We will be back with all of our favorite bets for this. But let me tell you about my friends over at MyBookie. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. And believe you me, if you've listened to this show once, twice, a million times, you've heard me give out some pretty crazy bets that MyBookie offers as well. Plus, their prop builder is second to none. Their motto, bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, lightning fast payout using cryptocurrency. Look, I'm telling you, I understand that I give you all those crazy sports odds, but I was looking at the football odds for the NFL, which is happening soon. They're giving you Baltimore -11. Here's the deal, right? I get it that it's tough for a team to beat another by a couple of touchdowns, but look, Baltimore's playing the Browns. Baltimore is about to be so pissed off coming in to the Browns world. I got to think that they're going to stomp them by at least a couple of touchdowns. So give me the Ravens over the Browns -11. You can find that over on MyBookie, and that's absolutely fine. You can head to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Like I said, football's back, baby. The NFL is back on rhythm. Last season, rhythm was 76-66 against the spread and 22-19 on over-unders. But here's where they really shine. They really shined on their player props. How about Josh Allen? We were talking about the Bills and the Ravens the other day. Well, how about Josh Allen passing props? Rhythm was 15-8 on Josh Allen passing props with a 23% ROI. Rhythm also has MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, college football. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. You can track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. build me a model of how many yards Derrick Henry's going to have in the entire season. That dude.
A lot.
I'm telling you right now, man, like I drafted him. I'm in this weird, crazy league, and no one wants to hear about your leagues, and that's fine. But I'm in this weird, crazy league.
This league is very intriguing. I like this league.
Yeah, so it's run by Ryan McDowell. He's the commissioner, and he's got a lot to do with Scott Fish and the Scott Fish Bowl, which we're both in, by the way. Yeah, I mean, listen, you get multiple copies of players. You can steal if you're in the right division. It's a dynasty. It's just so many things going on, and you call out your opponents every week. So it's not like a set lineup or a set schedule. People can call out their opponents.
Sweet. I like that.
Yeah. I called out one and I stomped him last week, so I got to steal Travis Etienne. So much fun.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. You know what else is beautiful? Bets and bets on Truck Series. So, Cody, let's start our card.
Let's kick it off, Rod. We have seen more of a tendency towards the top of the Truck Series be chalk a little bit here lately. But you can still get your long shots in. There's nowhere. We'll get to that in the next box. But a couple of more chalky guys that I kind of like this week is Chandler Smith. I'm going to take him top 3, plus 125. I know he burned us last time out at Darlington. Looked fast, looked good early. Of course, I think he started on the pole or front row, whatever it was. And then, got in the wall early and ended his day quickly. But he's been pretty lights out here at Bristol earlier this spring. Led 127 laps, won this race. His previous time out here before that was 2022, where he led 89 laps, swept the stages, ended up getting in some trouble late and finished 9th. But he won the race before that. So he's won 2 of the last 3 races here. And in his 5 career starts, he has 3 top 2 finishes, 4 top 5s, and then that 9th, which is, again, he's won both stages and led 89 laps. So he's been absolutely amazing here. I know we're coming off that bad race at Darlington, a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth. Didn't have a good day at Watkins Glen a couple weeks ago, but outside of that, he's been solid. 9th place at Richmond, 6th place at IRP, 6th place at Lime Rock, 7th place at Pocono, 8th place at Michigan, 7th place at Nashville. So it's been good runs for Chandler Smith, consistent runs, running up front with the big boys, staying out of trouble, kind of with the exception of Darlington, where he just stepped on it a little bit. So again, if Corey Heim wants to go out and win this race, or Lane Riggs, those 2 guys, they should be the best too. We know it, right? He doesn't have to be. He just has to be top 3 at plus 125 for a guy that's done that in 3 of his 5 career starts and absolutely dominated in one of the other 2. I really like that for Chandler Smith. So give me the top 3 at plus 125. And then Ty Majeski. I don't want to jinx the guy, Rod, but things have been looking pretty solid for one Tyrone Majeski here lately. He's kind of had a really good streak of runs. Honestly, his last bad luck was back at Michigan, if you want to say, like a 15th place finish June 7th. But it's been pretty good runs for him lately. 4th place at Darlington, 2nd at Richmond, 7th at Watkins Glen, 5th at IRP, 2nd at Lime Rock, 9th at Pocono. Then we kind of get into a long stretch of bad finishes. 33rd place finish here in the spring. That was part of his piano era, where things were not going well, and pianos were falling out of the sky on him, which he's had a few of those eras. It's a mixed bag of results when you look back at what he's done here at Bristol. His first career start here, he came out, led 45 laps, won the race. You're like, this is his type of track, right? A short track, a fast track. This is where he should be good. He's had some rough starts. I mentioned the 33rd in the spring, 34th last spring, 19th in the fall of 23. 8th place in his other finish here last fall in the race here. So he's got 2 good runs out of the 5. You'd like for that to be a little better. But again, he's kind of streaky. He gets in these bad runs, these good runs. Ended up winning the championship last year on one of those good runs. He's currently in one of those good runs. And you're still getting a bit of a discount on him because I think they're, previously we get to a track like this and he'd just jump up and be the favorite. That's not the case anymore because they're a little leery of that because he's not always done so well. But running good right now. It's hard to reference current form in the trucks because they race once every 8 weeks, but it does still count, right? Things have been going well for the program for him. I'm going to take him. So Chandler Smith, top 3, plus 125. Tyrone Majeski, top 5 at plus 125 as well.
I was about a millisecond away from suggesting Majeski as an outright. And then I thought better of it because I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. But I agree because my research was like, it's not as bad as it's been for him most of the season. So I think this is a good spot for him. A top 5 finish is well within his range of outcomes. And
and that's the thing with the top 5. You know, he doesn't have to beat Heim. He doesn't have to beat Riggs. He can, certainly. We know that he can, but he doesn't have to. He just has to finish inside of the top 5. And I think that's very achievable for a guy like him.
I agree. And I also agree with your Chandler play, too, which is why he is on the thumbnail representing the Truck Series, because he's definitely got the potential to do it. Speaking of potential, Ben Rhodes. All the potential in the world, and yet sometimes Ben Rhodes just makes you want to wring your hands in frustration. Only 7 top 10 finishes for Ben Rhodes this year, 4 top 5s in 19 starts. Like, that is not the type of season Ben Rhodes particularly wants. An average finish of 14.2. He has 3 DNFs and obviously no wins on the year. Look, he finished 11th at Darlington. That's okay, right? He finished 8th at Richmond. That's okay. 11th at IRP, 4th at Lime Rock, 4th at Michigan, like 11th at Kansas. These are all good and solid finishes. 5th at Bristol earlier this season, 5th at Martinsville, but he also finished like 18th at Pocono and then 14th at Nashville, 17th at Charlotte. So 33rd at Homestead because of a suspension issue, 14th at Las Vegas. Like, it's not been a Ben Rhodes-ish type of a season. So he is in a head-to-head matchup against Corey Day. And you know that we are starting to drink the Kool-Aid on Corey Day because he's starting to heat up in this. When he first came on the scene in Las Vegas, jumped on the pole, everybody's like, whoa, where'd this can come from? His first Truck Series start. He's on the pole now in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, it was a 27th place finish for him there, and then followed up by 15th at Homestead, 32nd at Martinsville, where he got busted up, 15th at Bristol, but first time around that track in a truck. I mean, that's not bad, especially that he started 29th in that particular race. 27 at Rockingham, you're like, all right, maybe we're overhyping him. But the last 3 races, 5th at Nashville, 2nd at IRP, 9th at Darlington. Like, he beat Ben Rhodes head-to-head at Darlington. That says a lot. And in fact, he beat him head-to-head in IRP as well. Beat him head-to-head in Nashville. So the last 3 races that they've been in participating together, Corey Day has gotten the best of Ben Rhodes. And I get it. Ben Rhodes, perennial playoff driver. But like you said, not this year. So guess what? Now he's just out there logging laps and trying to do good for himself. But Corey Day is out there trying to build a resume. And he's been doing it lately, and I think he's going to continue that string. And you're going to get him at minus 125 over on ESPN. But like I said, you know, this is a matter of a very young driver that is starting to come into his own and has beaten a very veteran driver the last 3 times that they've gone head-to-head. And I don't see that slowing down any for Corey Day. My eyes are open to him now, like everybody wants them to be. So,
yeah, I like this. We've cracked the William Sawalich code. I think I've cracked the Corey Day code as well, which I'll have more thoughts on that later. But in the Truck Series in particular, I really like Corey Day this week, I will say. So I actually completely agree with this head-to-head. If this is actually the one head-to-head I really liked, you already had it, so I left head-to-heads off my truck card, but I will ride this one with you, Rob.
Beautiful. Yeah, there was a few of them that I was kind of toying with, but yeah, when I saw the Dave versus Rhodes one, I couldn't pass that one up. So,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this one stands out, and like, there's no playoff Rhodes this year. It's he's done, right? He's out, and you know at where he's at right now, I don't know how. I mean, not that he's not motivated, he's not going to try, but it's a different level for sure.
Most certainly is. All right, Cody. Speaking of a different level, this guy is on it.
Oh, he is on a different level, Rod, and that's our friend Parker Kligerman. If you hurry, you can go over to Bet365 and get his top 5 at 11-1. ESPN bet he's only 7-1, so I wouldn't wait. I would go get this if you have the opportunity. If you only have access to ESPN, you only get the 7-1. I would still take it to this number. I actually had it in the doc at that number and then found it the bigger number. So if you can get the 11-1 on 365, please go get that. I would imagine that doesn't last too long, but you're going to want that one. And then I'm also going to take him top finishing Chevrolet at 14-1. So take a look at Parker Kligerman. He's in the 75 truck for Henderson. We've seen over the years it's a part-time truck. He's kind of been their driver for years, really. He's been making starts here since 2017 in the 75 truck. But when they pick and choose their schedule, they do it at the tracks that in particular Parker Kligerman is going to be good at and is going to run well, and he continues to do so. It's not all been roses for him here, but there have been some really good batches of roses. He's obviously riding high off of a huge victory. He's the only winner at Daytona a couple weeks ago in the Xfinity Series. If you ask Caesars or DraftKings, Rod, nobody else was ever in that car. It was only Parker Kligerman. He did all of it. So congrats to him for that. But 14th here in the spring, you'd like to see better. 18th last fall, you'd like to see better. But there are some good outliers here. 2022 outliers, but good runs. 2022, a third place finish. He's got the ceiling of finishing third. Now, that's not a one-off because in 2020 in the fall race here, a fourth place finish. Is that not enough for you? Well, in 2018, he also had a fourth place finish. All of these in Henderson trucks. By the way, the first fourth place finish was in a Chevrolet. The second one was in a Toyota. And the third one was back in a Chevrolet, all with the same team, but they switched manufacturers, changed things up on him. Doesn't matter. Showed up, got good results here. The other 2017, rather, you had an eighth place finish. 2012, back in the day for Red Horse Racing, Toyota. That was, a long time ago. He finished second place here at Bristol and 10th in his first start for Brad Keselowski Racing all the way back in 2011. So a really good track record for him at this track. Now, I will say the Truck Series starts have been disappointing this year for what we expect. 31st at Watkins Glen, 14th at Charlotte, 25th at Rockingham, 14th here in the spring, 36th at Daytona. Now 14th here in the spring. That there's some positives to that, right? If we could build on that and get a little better, you'd like to see that definitely. And you'd like to have had some better stuff. But there's been good runs over the last couple of years with him in that truck. And for the top Chevrolet bet, you look at the field of Chevys in this one, Ron. And, of course, the tab I had that had all the Chevys closed. So we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way here and go through. But, I mean, you're looking at, the Spire trucks, right? So Corey Day, Grant Enfinger is in there in his truck. The McAnally Hilgeman trucks, so Daniel Hemrick, Tyler Ankrum. Ankram's had some good runs here, by the way, just tossing that out since he didn't make the card. The Young's Motorsports truck, the Nice trucks, but in the Nice trucks, like this week, it's Connor Jones, Matt Mills, Andres Perez de Lara, Bailey Curry. I'm not overly threatened by any of those. Rajah in a Chevrolet, the Connor Mosaks of the world, but that's pretty much your Chevy lineup. It's not super top heavy. It's not strong. The guys at the top of the odds board, Heim, Riggs, Smith, Majeski, all these guys not in Chevrolets. So it's a pretty wide open Chevrolet field. A guy like Hemrick you would expect to be up there, but doesn't always happen. Kligerman has the upside of third, fourth place finishes, done it multiple times here. So I love him at these numbers. The 11-1 or 7-1, whatever you can get for the top five, I'll take either. And the top Chevy at 14-1, you might not even have to finish top five to be the top finishing Chevy in a weaker Chevy field. So you might be able to double dip on this, or you get the Chevy, which is actually the bigger number to kind of back you up if it's a worse finish, but Chevy doesn't do as well. So I like both of those. And then I'd actually like to turn this one over to you, Rod. I got Taylor Gray 10-1 for a top five. Last time we had a truck show, I was unable to make it. So you did it for me, and I gave this bet out, and you just talked about how shitty of a bet it was, why you had no idea why I would make this, how it had no shot. And he went out and finished sixth place. So I'll just give you the floor, and if you could say all the same things you said before, and maybe we can recreate this magic, and he'll just finish one spot better.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Taylor Gray will not finish top five in the Truck Series because Taylor Gray is not in the Truck Series. Tanner won't do it either. You did, because it's okay. You could, think about him when you think about it. Tanner won't either because Tanner didn't finish top five the last time either. No matter how close he came, he still didn't do it. So there, Cody. There's your reverse jinx.
Thank you. But no, if you look back at his starts here, not a lot of wonderfulness. I mean, 18th here in the spring. He had a 15th last year, 17th. He did, however, have a third place start in his first career start back for DGR Crossley in the number 15 Ford back in the day. Before that was even David Gilliland racing. Well, I guess that was David Gilliland plus Crossley. But a few iterations ago, what is still Tricon, it's the same team, many iterations, team names, and manufacturers later. But he had a third place finish here, so he's got that upside. But it's been about how he's run this season. And we've seen, while we haven't always seen the results, we've seen the pieces to put together. Darlington, the last race out, the sixth place run. That was, you didn't have a lot of positive things to say going into it, but I've seen the pieces there for him. He's able to put together a good run. He's becoming a better and better driver. We've done this before with his brother in particular, where it was like, hey, you're starting to see the pieces. They're lining up. And that's when you hit him at these bigger numbers and things fall into place. So he's got that ability in him. The 6th place at Darlington, 2nd place at Pocono earlier this year, 5th place at Texas, 3rd place at Las Vegas. By the way, all of those race like an intermediate, as does Bristol. While it is a short track, it races more like an intermediate. So I do like that part of things. But even some good runs, Richmond 14th, IRP 13th. Those aren't horrible runs for a guy at 10-1. If he can increase his running spots a little bit more and have good days, I think that he can get it done at 10-1. I think the number's worth it. So Kligerman top 5, 11, 7-1, whatever you can get it at. Top Chevy at 14-1, and Tanner Gray top 5 at 10-1.
You know who did finish top 5 at Darlington? Actually, who finished top 3 at Darlington in the Truck Series? That was Grant Enfinger. He's going to do it again this week. Enfinger finished 3rd at Darlington last week, or last race, I suppose, whenever that happened. But he ended up finishing 4th at IRP as well. A bad run at Richmond, right? He finished 13th, but he did start 4th in that one. 2nd at Michigan, 5th at North Wilkesboro. He finished 12th at Bristol earlier in the spring, but followed it up with a 5th place finish at Rockingham. So a lot of decent runs there for Grant Enfinger. He's plus 250 to repeat as a top 5 truck in this particular race. How's he done at Bristol in his career? Well, he has got 8 top 10 finishes, 5 top 5 finishes in 10 starts. He had a pretty good stretch between 2021 and 2023, where it was a 2nd place, 4th place, and 3rd place finish. 9th, 17th, and 12th in his last 3. So kind of falling on some hard times at Bristol. Like I said earlier in the year, he had that 12th place finish, but his average finish on this track altogether is 7.2. Which, again, for Grant Enfinger, we wrote him off a little bit in the middle of the season. We were on him at the beginning of the year, and then we kind of wrote him off as he was running a little bit of a rougher stretch. Because, again, top 5s is all we had, and he had that 10th place at Nashville, but then he got his 2nd place at Michigan. Then he had 7th place at Pocono, and then 11th at Lime Rock, and then a 24th at Watkins Glen after he crashed. So, I mean, there were points here where we were kind of writing off Grant Enfinger, and we probably shouldn't have been overall, given that he does have 12 top 10s and 19 starts. So only 7 times has he finished outside of the top 10, and he's got 7 top 5 finishes all told this season. But the thing about it is that I think Grant Enfinger obviously going to be one of those drivers that we have to watch. He doesn't have to beat Riggs in this one, like you were talking about. Doesn't have to beat Heim in this one. He doesn't have to beat Chandler Smith in this one. He's just got to do what he's been able to do several times over this season, and that's finish inside of the top 5, just like he did last week or last race or whatever at Darlington. And like I said, I have a feeling this is a Grant Enfinger type of a quiet week for him to sneak his way into the top 5 where everybody else is jockeying for the win. He's just going to slide right up in there and find his way into a top 5 and make us all very happy back-to-back weeks as a top 5 finisher.
Yeah, he's a guy that just continually goes under the radar, really, and I like that you highlight him often, and I think that it's a great call. He's always seems to always be a good guy to bet on, always a guy that's in the mix, always a guy that's giving you a chance, and you always love to see that. 4th
in the playoff standings, by the way. So, he's 30 points above the cut line, which means he could just go have himself a nice little 5-point or 5th place day and be happy with the points.
Absolutely, he sure could. All right, Rod, get into the outrights for the Truck Series. Don't forget, Thursday night, get those bets in. Do not wait. I'm going to Chandler Smith, 4-1. The guy that you're going to give out, I think, is probably the guy that should win this race. And Corey Heim should be good, but Corey Heim, Bristol's not always been great. I mean, he's been good, but not great. But Chandler Smith has been great here. At 4-1, he's won 2 of the last 3 starts here, top 3 in 3 of his 5. I've already read all these stats earlier, but it is impressive. And in the spring here, in this truck in particular, he led 127 laps. First in stage 1, second in stage 2, took home the victory. And then the last time out, it was a Kyle Busch truck back in 2022, but he led 89 laps, swept the stages, had a great day. Chandler Smith loves this track. He's been very good here. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I believe he had some really good runs here in the Xfinity Series as well. So all in on Chandler Smith this week. Once again, hopefully he doesn't burn us like he did back at Darlington, but I'm not overly concerned about that. And then, Rod, Daniel Hemrick. I think there's not, you look up and down the board here, and it's just not a ton that you love that really jumps out to you. But Daniel Hemrick is just a guy that always is right there. And if tragedy strikes and something happens late in this race, he's in position to pounce like he did at Martinsville earlier this year, where he only led 4 laps but got the win because he put himself in position. That's just what he does. Second place at Darlington last time out. Right there, ready to win if something happens to Corey Heim there at the end. Second place at Watkins Glen. Almost won that race, actually. 7th place at IRP, 9th at Lime Rock, 5th at Pocono. Had a bad day at Michigan, 6 overtimes later, all that craziness. But 4th at Nashville, 8th at Charlotte, 4th at North Wilkesboro, 2nd at Texas, 3rd at Rockingham, 1 Martinsville race back there. It's been mostly good finishes all season for Daniel Hemrick, putting himself in the right position. Christian Eckes, who we're going to get to here in a couple of minutes when we switch over to the Xfinity Series side of things, so good the last couple of years in that 19 truck as well. So if they've got some of the notes in there about that truck, he could definitely use that. 13th place run here in the spring. You'd like to see better. He did start on the pole, and I don't remember what happened, why he got shuffled back. He only led 8 laps. But the fact that he started on the pole, I think means that they do have some of the notes in there for what made that truck so fast. If they can just fine-tune that, I think he could have a fine day and put himself in position. Is he just going to beat Heim, Riggs, Smith outright? Probably not, although I think he could. But he'll be in position if he needs to be, in at 16-1. I think that's worth a shot.
Yeah, I was looking at Hemrick for a couple of different bets, and I think outright's probably the way to take him because he's either going to win this race or he's going to finish in 10th. So I highly I agree with you on that one. And then for Chandler Smith, absolutely. I mean, that's the guy that has already won this race, should win this race, or at least on this track, should win on this track and be good. And a lot like what you said with Corey Heim, right? I mean, Corey Heim only has 1 win on this track, a 6th place finish, a 2nd place, and a 3rd place in the last 3 years to go along with another 10th place finish when he was in that KBM truck back in the day. So, I mean, he's only got the 1 win on this track. Can he come out and do it again? Abso-freaking-lutely. But I like the price on Lane Riggs because Lane Riggs is at 3-1 to win this race. He did come in 4th earlier this season when he was running this one in the spring. Or I'm sorry, 6th place finish in the spring for him there. But I mean, look, Lane Riggs. This has been the Lane Riggs and Corey Heim show, right? Both of these guys 1-2 on the leaderboard in playoff standings. Obviously, Corey is advanced, but Lane Riggs plus 38 to the good, which. He's established all season long that he's been the 1A to Corey Heim's 1B. 1 at Pocono, 1 at IRP, finished 3rd at Richmond. Frustrating day at Darlington. Started on the pole. Probably should have won that damn race. Led 71 laps. Official finish is 17th, but we all know better than that. 3rd place at Nashville earlier in the season. Like I said, that 6th place at Bristol. Runner-up at Homestead. 5th at Las Vegas. It's just been one of those things for him that you either like him or you don't. I get that. But he's been a very solid truck driver all season long, and he's been giving Corey Heim hell. And Corey knows it, and he's probably not going to disappear anytime soon. So I most certainly am a fan of taking Lane Riggs, especially at 3-1 at Bristol. He has 3 top 10 finishes and that win. So a 10th place in 2020 and 2014, and then a 6th place, like I said earlier, plus to go along with a win in 2024. So he's already won on this track recently. Think he can do it again.
Yeah, no arguments here. I definitely was looking hard at Riggs before you already had him in the sheet. So he's really good at these short tracks. He's been the guy that's been able to keep up with Heim the most. So I think that Riggs and Smith, honestly, Heim obviously is the dominant guy, the guy in the Truck Series right now. But a track like this, I think these guys are much more on a level playing field to him than everyone else.
I concur. All right, we're going to go over all of our bets at the end of it, but that is the end of the Truck Series. We'll come back after the break, start talking about some Xfinity Series picks for you. But first, speaking of picks, how about Underdog Fantasy? Underdog also is a great place to play Fantasy Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. All you got to do, pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. It's available in a ton of sports. Again, as if you've ever heard me, I've given out some I've disc golf, I've given out esports, but again, it's NFL season, and they're giving you Deebo Samuel, and this is how I know these guys are listening, right? Yesterday, when I gave this pick out, Deebo Samuel was projected at 3.5 rushing yards. That is now up to 6.5 rushing yards. And you know what? I'm still taking the higher than on that one because Deebo Samuel had only one carry, but made that carry count last week for 19 yards. He would have obliterated this projection a couple of times over. So I still think he's going to get higher than 6.5 rushing yards. So take that. And 54.5 receiving yards. I'm taking the higher on that one as well. So you get kind of a bonus pick from me there. Plus, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction model. Or market, rather. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 or more states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5. Use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. Well then, Cody, let us turn our attention to the Xfinity Series, where it is the Food City 300. This one is absolutely correct. Set for 300 laps around this .533 mile paved track for 159.900 miles around the Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, Tennessee.
Yes, sir. Pretty excited for this one. Of course, it is the first playoff race, so that is exciting. We got 39 entries for 38 spots, so somebody will also be going home from this group. In the number 5 car, we have got, why did it do that? Stephen Parsons. He's going to be running double duty. He's going to be in the number 5 car. Carson Ware, Cody's younger brother, he's going to be back for Rick Ware Racing in the 07, or actually, this is going to be SS Greenlight. I believe he's running for Rick Ware in the ARCA Series, which is also running this weekend. Brennan Butterbean Queen, he's going to be making, I believe this is his Xfinity debut. We've seen him in the Truck Series a few times, but he'll be in the 11 for Colleague. Obviously, they're just filling that car in week to week, and Butterbean is the guy this week. Eric Almirola, he's back in the number 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. Jeffrey Earnhardt, he's back in the number 24 for Sam Hunt. Austin Green, our road course specialist, Rod, he's making another oval start. I wouldn't really probably touch him this week because not as good on ovals just yet. Glenn Reen, that's quite the name. He's going to be in the 35 for Joe Gase. And Josh Bilicki is back in the number 91 car. Of course, a little bit of a DFS darling when we talk Xfinity DFS. So, yeah, that's your entry list. And, of course, one driver will go home. 38 will make the start.
Yeah, Bilicki's always fun to talk DFS with because he's always that guy that you got to sort. We got to sort by the fantasy points per race because if you do, you get some gems and you're like, oh.
Yeah, he's always cheap, always delivers. It's a great slogan.
It is great. I was going to say that's like a pizza slogan. I always cheap.
Yeah, whenever I start a delivery service, that's what it is. Always cheap, always delivers. There you go.
I love it. All right, you know what always delivers? Your picks, especially for Xfinity Series.
A lot of pressure. That is the hope, Rod. Well, I told you I thought I cracked the Corey Day code, and that code, I think, Rod, is he's figured it out in the Truck Series, and he's really good. Not so much in the Xfinity Series. Now, he was 9th place out of Worldwide Technology last time out, so not a bad run. He cashed the top 10 bet for us. Thank you to him for that. So we've been finding ways to make money on him, right? But, outside of that, not elite in the Truck Series. Is not as good as he's been, or not as good in the Xfinity Series as he's been in the Truck Series. So I'm going to not necessarily fade him, but I love Christian Eckes this week in the Xfinity Series. So I'm going to take him over Corey Day at -125 over on ESPN. They were matched up last time out at Worldwide Technology last week. 3rd place finish for Christian Eckes. We told you he'd have a good day. He did. To the 9th place for Corey Day. Iowa, they were matched up as well. 10th place for Christian Eckes and 24th for Corey Day. So an easy win there. Now, Eckes kind of went through a bit of a struggle a while back where he had a lot of DNFs and some issues. But Day in his other starts, 24th at Sonoma, 11th at Nashville, still a respectable run. 16th at Texas is fine. 21st at Martinsville, rather. Not horrible runs, but not great runs either, like I'm expecting from a Christian Eckes. Christian Eckes has finished two top 5 finishes in a row. He's been top 10 in 3 of the last 4, 5 of the last 7 Xfinity Series races. So, I think Collick's kind of working some of those kinks out, probably having these Cup drivers and better drivers in that 11 car, giving them feedback. I'm sure that's translating over to Eckes as well as they try to get that program back on track, right? They really got off track for a while there, trying to get that back on track. If you go back and you look at Christian Eckes in the Truck Series here, I'm very sad he's not racing in the Truck Series this week. Top 4 in the last 3 Truck Series races. He led 150 and 144 in 2 of those races. Extremely, extremely good here. I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the 19 truck, how good he was here in that truck. So a very good driver here. So I'm going to take Christian Eckes over Corey Day at -125. And then I'm also going to take Christian Eckes as a top 5 at 4-1. I forgot to throw that out at the top, but that's also in this box in the kind of Christian Eckes section here. Over Day at -125 and taking him top 5 at 4-1 as well. Stay tuned in the Discord. We'll see if we get top 10 options for ESPN. They've been good about top 10s lately. But you know, at least at the time we started the show, I'll pull it up here again and double check, but no top 10 odds have been out. I don't know that you get good enough top 10 odds on Eckes, but if it's even like a -125, that's a hammer for me. I think he will easily be a top 10 car this week. So, yeah, that's the Christian Eckes portion of this program.
I agree with your Christian Eckes part of this program because, like you said, it was so damn good in the Truck Series. I got to think that that's translating, especially now that we're watching him actually. Maybe the road course, being good at the road course kind of sparked him again and remembered that he's in a fast enough car to finish somewhere in the top area. And like you said, for Day, yeah, the Truck Series, he's got it figured out, but that Xfinity Series needs a little bit of work for that. So with you on Eckes. All right, this one for me, I'm not going to paint you with a bunch of crazy numbers because I'll give you the stats and let you make up your mind for yourself if you want to fade this part of it. But I am taking anything over Austin Hill at this point. Sheldon Creed right now over Austin Hill. It's a tough one to swallow at -130. I get it because even if you look at Sheldon Creed, this is, what was it yesterday? The spinner versus spinner in Busch and who was the other head-to-head that I gave against?
Who was it?
Yeah.
Boy, how did I forget? Somebody that's not been doing. Oh, Josh Berry.
Josh Berry. Yeah. So Busch versus Berry. This is a lot like this, where it's Creed versus Hill. But the caveat on this one, and I know why Sheldon Creed is the heavy favorite in this one, is because it's be careful of what happens in the dark, right? Austin Hill has not made any friends on the track lately. That friend and enemy bar is straight red for Austin Hill. And a short track is not the kind of track you want to be on when you are talking about making enemies on the field. So Austin Hill, yeah, I got a 12th place finish at Gateway the other day, but again, that's not necessarily someplace that you can be the kind of driver you want to be when that guy's in your rear view. And believe me, there's a lot of folks that were not giving him any slack. Portland, 5th place finish, a road course. Yeah, okay. But Daytona crashed out of that one. Indianapolis, he finished 34th. Dover, 13th. Chicago got a 4th place, but that's a road course as well. Going back to some of these other ones before this, but see, if you were talking this before, I would have definitely taken Austin Hill. 7th at Nashville, 7th at Charlotte, 4th at Texas, 1 Talladega, 6th at Rockingham. He did end up finish 24th in this race earlier in the spring, which is another reason why it kind of gives you pause. 16 at Darlington. He did win at Martinsville, which is a short track. Sheldon Creed, I mean, look, here's 30th last week at Gateway, 27th at Portland, 17th at Daytona, 35th at Watkins Glen. That's all kind of tough to judge him on, just like it's tough to judge Austin Hill on that. But 7th at Iowa, 8th at Dover, 4th place at Nashville earlier in the season, 37th at Bristol. Not a good day for him as well. But Sheldon Creed is 2 for 4 in beating Austin Hill on this track. He obviously didn't do it in the spring, but guess where Sheldon Creed finished in 2024? His favorite spot, in 2nd. And then he finished 11th in 2023. And those are 2 years that he actually did get Austin Hill, who Austin Hill's average finish on this track, 18.5. So this is not his favorite track either. 24th in the spring, 14th before that in the fall of 2024, 33rd in the fall of 2023, and then 3rd place finish in his very first start in 2022. So for me, this is just someone's going to get theirs. Someone is going to be able to get their bumper to Austin Hill and pay back that whatever's been going on with Austin Hill lately, and this is the track to do it. So I'll take anybody over Hill, up to and including Sheldon Creed at -130.
I just meant to ruffle his feathers, right, Rod? Isn't that the Dale Earnhardt line from Rice and Terry Labonte at Bristol? I mean, this is a good place to show your displeasure, and there's a handful, maybe a couple of handful of drivers not happy with Austin Hill right now. So I like it. He's also not been great at this track, as you documented. So I will fully back you on this one. Rod, I've got over here the ballot for the 2025 NASCAR Gambling Podcast Hall of Fame for drivers that have just made us so much money this year. And this guy's name is actually in the top, off the top of the ballot in gold. You can't even vote on him. He's automatic qualification. He's already in the hall. We haven't even got to the voting section. He's locked in because he's made me more money than anybody else this year. And that is William Sawalich. And we're taking his top 5 at 3-1. He cashed huge, fucking huge for us last week at Worldwide Technologies. I believe it was a 7-1 top 5 last week. Goes out, starts in third, leads 7 laps, finishes in second place. Beautiful day from him. That was coming off the run in second place at Portland. Daytona, Watkins Glen, whatever. Indy, 6th place. Iowa, 11th place, which at the time, like, that's a great run by him. 9th place at Dover, a track that does race very well. Comp to this. 3rd place at Sonoma. That kind of kicked off his good run, where he had some good results finally and got things turned around. So he's coming in with a full head of steam. Didn't finish well here in the spring. Shocker. He didn't finish well anywhere back in the spring. So not worried about that at all. I love William Sawalich. Continue to ride the wave. He's in a good car. He's in a fast car. He has become, it's JJ McCarthy. Did not look good in the first half of the other night, Rod. William Sawalich did not look good in the first half, but in the second half, it's like you replace the quarterback. It's like you replace the driver. He's coming out and just having himself a hell of a game. Keep riding the Sawalich train. Locked in on the Hall of Fame for the 2025 gambling season. William Sawalich, top 5 at 3-1. Also gave this bet out last weekend at Cash, Rod. Connor Zilisch, top Chevy at plus 155. If I need to explain this to you, just Google William, or just Google Connor Zilisch. I mean, it's insane. He won last week at Worldwide Technologies, led 121 laps. It was just unchallenged. Dominates yet another race. He won at Portland where he led 70 laps. He won at Did he win at Daytona?
No, Parker Kligerman won at Daytona.
Okay, well, on this official stat sheet, he won at Daytona, Rod, because that's what it says. Watkins Glen, he won. Indianapolis, he won. He led 62 laps at Iowa, but horrible day, finished in 4th place. Dover, comp track, led 77 laps and won. Sonoma, 40. I'm not skipping any races for I'm not cherry picking. This is literally how his season has been going. First. He's won 5 in a row, had a 4th place finish, won 2 in a row prior to that. How do you go against Connor Zilisch right now? I don't know. He started 2nd place here in the spring, still trying to feel things out, figure it out, finish 12th, fine, whatever. Nobody's better than him right now, and it's not even close. Again, taking the top Chevy at plus 155 allows somebody to sneak in there. William Sawalich, maybe he steals the win from him, right? Maybe it's Eric Amarola's night and he gets the win. There's a couple, there's not a ton of Fords, but Sam Mayer type, the Sheldon Creed, Sheldon Creed to win. That was funny. Sam Mayer could win. Maybe Ryan C gets it done. I don't know. But this covers him if it is an Eric Almirola day. One of these other guys kind of steals the win from him. You're still top Chevy for a guy who's plus 250 outright, plus 155 just to beat all the other manufacturers of his kind, right? Chevy, which there's a lot of them that are really good, all guys of the world and others. But that allows that little bit of wiggle room for a Toyota or Ford to win this race and still to cash pretty good on him. So I don't know how you fade a guy that's like, this isn't like Corey Heim's been impressive and good, but he's lost a lot of races. Like, this is just complete, utter dominance from Connor Zilisch right now. So until it stops working, I think you just have to keep pulling the trigger on it.
No, I 1,000% agree with you on that one because Connor Zilisch, we're getting into Max Verstappen territory, right? Where it just seems like every single race he's winning.
Maybe it's a Red Bull thing.
I was going to say, is it a Red Bull? It's got to be a Red Bull thing. It's got to be. Red Bull racing.
I go grab a Red Bull.
They give you wings, man. What?
It does give you wings, Rod. So
just saying
that could be the key.
No, I mean we're watching Max Verstappen type dominance in the Xfinity Series right now, and it's for you to even get plus 155 for him to be the top chef, for him to even be plus money on anything, because we watched the books hammer Max Verstappen down. I can't
believe he's plus money to win this race, Rod.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's
Don't tell anybody we're not there yet, but
we won't say a word.
Insane.
Secret is safe.
Why are we okay? Get to the next bet before I give away the rest of the card.
All right, fine. His teammate, Carson Kvapil, I'm going to take him as a top 5. Now, it's funny because Cody and I both, Cody put in the doc first. William Sawalich top 5. I don't care what the number is.
Well, I saw Rod sends the doc over, and we're both in there editing at the same time. And there's not positional bets up yet. But I wanted to make sure I claimed the Sawalich top 5. So I knew he was in the doc, so I put in Sawalich top 5, and then I just wrote in all caps, I don't care what the number is, Rod. I'm taking this. So, yes, you had your own rebuttal.
Yeah, so I put in Kvapil top 5. I don't care what the number is, Cody. And thank you for giving me that number. That's plus 250. That's a better number than I thought was going to be for Carson Kvapil as a top 5, who, by the way, the last time he was out at Bristol, finished runner-up. How do you get almost 3-1 for the runner-up of the spring race here? In this one, he finished second to.
You look at the rest of his season.
Well, yes, you do that, but he finished second to Kyle Larson in that race. Now, this is, of course, part of when we were thinking that Carson Kvapil might be the Connor Zilisch of this, but he did finish 5th in Darlington. The race before that, falling on some pretty hard times between Rockingham, where he's finished 16th, 17th at Talladega, 19th at Texas, 17th at Charlotte, 9th place at Nashville. That's pretty good. 19th at Mexico City. But, like I said, falling on some pretty hard times as of late, but he did get a 9th place finish at Iowa. God, I wish his engine wouldn't have blown at Gateway. We could have seen some good stuff from him there, but he did get caught up as well. Finished 37th in that race, but it looked like he had some speed because he started 8th in that race. Look, JRM is fast. We know this. JRM competes every single week. We know this. And for Carson Kvapil to have gone out and been the runner-up in the fall, or in the spring rather, in his very first attempt at a Bristol race, right? That is pretty damn impressive. If he puts together even close to a run like that and finishes in 5th, I'll be happy, especially at plus 250.
Yeah, I actually love this bet. I've got more thoughts on Kvapil here in a second, but I think that this is the perfect type of track that sets up well for him. Obviously, a lot of speed in the JRM camp. We know that. We've seen a lot of speed from Kvapil. Putting it all together and getting the finishes has been his biggest problem. He's had a lot of runs where he's looked good and not finished well, but he did it already here in the spring. So I do like that, Rod. Moving over to the outrights for the Xfinity Series, Connor Zilisch is plus 250 on Caesars.
It's fine.
How do you not bet this?
You do.
I can't think of a reason not to. He's been good everywhere. Road courses, intermediates. Depending on who you ask, he won a super speedway. He won at Dover, the comp track to this. It's 5 in a row, 7 in the last 8. Like, he's got 9 wins on the season. I mean, I don't know how you bet against this guy, and you're getting him a plus 250. Let me remind you, Kyle Larson, who's been the top finishing Chevrolet one of the last 8 races in the Cup Series, which is much harder, much more competitive, is plus 240. And yet in the less top-heavy series, clearly the best driver in clearly the best car, who's dominated for weeks on end, broken collarbone, getting his ass stuck on the hood latch, whatever, like, doesn't matter. Dude just gets it done, is plus 250. I don't know how you don't bet on this. It worked out for us last week. We rode that. We rode the top Chevy. I think we had one more bet on him last week. They all cashed easy. I mean, it was easy money. And eventually the shoe's going to drop, right? And he's not going to win all these. But until it does, just keep riding it. It's much like a Verstappen run. It's like a Kyle Busch run we've seen in Xfinity trucks before. You just keep riding this, and I don't know how you don't. Take a couple insurance plays because shit can happen, right? Carson Kvapil at 20-1. I was surprised you didn't have this. I thought about putting it in the winner's box for you, Rod, because I was like going to prompt you to take it, but I'll take it instead. 20-1, he finished second here in the spring. This is a track type that sets up well for him. He should be good here. I like it. And I'm all in on William Sawalich at this point. I am looking to become, I don't know if I can claim to be the president yet. I'm at least worked my way up to vice president of the William Sawalich fan club. And I'm coming after the president. I'm working on my campaign right now. So yeah, give me 2025 NASCAR Gambling Podcast famer William Sawalich at 25-1.
Yeah, so the Kvapil one, I got top 5. I feel way more comfortable plus 250 because the winning one, it just hasn't been something that I feel confident that he can actually win a race yet. And at 20-1, though, that's
yeah.
a good number for it.
Yeah, top 5 is definitely the bet. I don't think he's going to win because I think that Zilisch is just going to kill everyone in this race. But at 20-1 for a guy that we think is going to be a top 5 guy, if you get the late chaos, if something happens, Quapple breaks, Austin Hill ends up near Zilisch, we know that could be bad. So yeah, I think that it's a good insurance play to have.
Indeed. TK saying at the very least, parlay 88 to win with something like USA Football that we mentioned. Yeah, that's another good thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of this is a great parlay piece, and I know we've had a lot of people doing that. Whether it's with a college football game, an NFL game, or any whatever you want to parlay it with. I think that parlay and using this as a parlay piece is great because, plus 250 by itself is that's a gorgeous number for what you're getting. I love just taking this by itself, but throwing it in the parlay and juicing it up a little bit is always fun as well.
Indeed. All right. Well, the reason I didn't take Quapple is because I liked Jesse Love's number at 11-1. Look, like you said, Connor Zilisch going to win this race. It's probably a no-doubter. Absolutely no reason to not think that he's going to do that. But if he doesn't, I'll give you Jesse Love, who finished 5th at Gateway last week after starting 18th. 4th at Daytona, 2nd at Iowa, runner-up after starting on the pole in Iowa, 5th at Dover. He had a 2nd place at Pocono. He had a 7th place at Texas. He finished 6th here in the spring race as well, 8th place at Nashville. Jesse Love, average finish of 10th, right? Average start of 9th, average finish of 10th. He's got 18 top 10s and 69%. I'm waiting. Of his starts.
Nice. Sorry, I fell asleep over here.
Sorry.
Nice, Rod.
Yep, 69% of his starts have been top 10 finishes. 8% have been top 5 finishes. 30% have been top 5 finishes for Jesse Love. So he's always competing on this particular track, a 4th place finish and a 6th place finish in his 2 starts. So he's had good, solid runs on this track. Like you said, though, with a guy like Carson Quapple who can hang around the top 5, with a guy like Jesse Love that can hang around the top 5, if monsters crawl out of the gutters or something, or something happens to that 88, Jesse Love will be right around the front and could capitalize, given a couple of good late restarts. And 11-1 is a pretty good number for something like that to happen.
Yeah, don't mind that one at all.
Indeed. All right. I know TK said that Love has the skill to hang, but seems like he just doesn't have the car to keep up with the 88. We know. That's the problem.
Nobody does.
Yeah, that's the problem. Nobody
has
the other
right JRM cars don't.
They do not. All right, get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our bets for Bristol, and we'll go all the way back in the rewind machine and give you some truck series. I started you off with Corey Day over Ben Rhodes at -125. I threw in Grant Enfinger as a top 5 car at +250, and Lane Riggs as a winning truck at 3-1. And then in the Food City 300 in Xfinity, I gave you Sheldon Creed over Austin Hill at -130, Carson Quapple top 5 at +250, and Jesse Love to win the race if Connor Zilisch doesn't at 11-1. Cody, in the truck race, gave you Chandler Smith as a top 3 truck at +125. Ty Majeski, top 5 truck at +125. Parker Kligerman, top 5 truck at 11-1. Threw in the top Chevy at 14-1 as well. Tanner Gray, top 5 at 10-1. And then Chandler Smith at 4-1. Daniel Hemrick at 16-1 to win the race. In Xfinity, Cody gave you Christian Eckes over Corey Day at -125. He gave you an Eckes top 5 at 4-1. William Sawalich top 5 at 3-1. Gave you Connor Zilisch as the top Chevy at +140. Also gave you Connor Zilisch to win the race at +250. Carson Quapple at 20-1. William Sawalich 25-1 to win the race. I'm so glad that we were able to get the Truck Series episode in before the Truck Series race.
Yes, me too. You never know with the books and how they roll, but shout out to the books for getting stuff done. We got everything except Xfinity top 10, so stay tuned in the Discord. Hopefully we'll get some of those and we'll give you some picks on those. If and when they do drop, I'm going to hold out hope for that. So yeah, glad we were able to put these into one nice proper episode. Good thing we got going when we did, Rod. Cracking the whip at the beginning of the show there because we have still gone over the hour mark here. So I'm glad it was fun. I think we got a lot of good bets in here. Don't forget Thursday night for the trucks, Friday night for Xfinity, and even the Cup Series Saturday night. Everything is bumped up this week. So get all your picks in, get all your fantasy stuff in early, all the fun stuff. And, we'll let's go make some money on these guys.
Let's go make some money. We'll be back tomorrow with DFS for the Cup Series, because by the time we get this out, you won't have much time to do anything else. So Cup Series DFS tomorrow. If they give us some underdog, maybe we'll throw in some underdog as well. So check back tomorrow for more of the show. So Cody, as we wrap things up tonight, let everyone know where they can find you out there in the real world.
Yeah, follow me over on the X Rod at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff there. There's a ton of it, just constantly cranking out stuff for sportsgamblingpodcast.com, along with other things. So check it out. Always appreciate all the support. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow for DFS.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez, linking about everything I've got going on, whether it's here. Make sure you're checking out the Back Road. Seth and Elliott tomorrow. We'll hold it down as they talk about Bristol for you. And, of course, check out all of our game previews, mine and Cody's, as we break down all of Week 2 for the NFL over there on sportsgamblingpodcast.com. See you guys tomorrow. Some DFS. So until then, everybody, we love you very, very much. We'll see you tomorrow. And let's go racing and let it ride.